Yeah, welcome to the Lion Show. I am so happy that you are here with me today. And today we are going to be talking about money negotiating. Now, what does this actually mean? Well, first, we are on a mission to get people rich, wealthy, making more money, be smarter with your money, so that you can go from there and then figure out the rest of your life. Because it's hard to be healthy, it's hard to be happy, it's hard to be peaceful if you're worried about money, especially in the world today. So, we're talking about money negotiation. And I got to tell you, before we get into this episode, I have been digging deep in research, just losing my mind and learning some of the most phenomenal things just about wealth creation and making money. And God, I can't wait to blow everybody's mind and just help as many people as we can. That's the goal. So let's do this episode, and then we're going to start getting deep. I'm excited. All right. The reason I think this is so important is the last episode we kind of talked about your money strategy, right? You got to have a strategy for what you're doing with your money. You got to have a strategy for how you're spending your money. You got to have a strategy for how you're, make more money, spend less money, and you got to have a strategy for how you're going to make money, what you're going to do with all your money. And it's just really important. And the one thing that I left out in that was you're negotiating for your money. Like, this is just something, like, not only is it fun, it's important. Why is this important? Well, negotiating is something that we all can do to save some money and to make more money. And we have to fight for ourselves because nobody else is going to stand up for us necessarily. No, not even necessarily. In reality, nobody else is going to freaking stand up for us. So many people are getting squished and stepped on by the little guy. So today we're going to have that little extra idea in your head about negotiating for everything. And pardon my French, but the reason is because fuck them. Just think about how many big ass companies are just nickel and diming you, are just kicking you when you're down. Fuck them. It's time for us to stand up and fight back with our negotiating skills. All right. Now, negotiating every penny is all about just using your words, your presence, and your smarts, as well as being in the moment, to make sure you get the best deal that you possibly can when you're buying stuff. Okay. And we're talking big things, we're talking little things. But you need to know before you go into a situation, take that extra pause, that extra second to be like, okay, this is what I want to get out of this conversation. This is the price I want to pay for this new car. This is what I want to do with my money. And if this motherfucker gets in my way, then I'm going to run him over and I'm going to find somebody else who's going to be able to do it. One of my favorite things that this guy talks about, I'll think of his name in a minute, but he says there's ducks and then there's eagles, right? There's a lot of ducks in the world, right? When you want eagles take charge. They do stuff. Ducks, they just say, wah. So like if you're on the phone with a duck who can't help you, who can't make any shifts, you need to ask if you can talk to their manager or an eagle or somebody who can actually move something, who can actually make things happen. Okay, so don't waste your time talking to ducks, and also don't be a duck, be an eagle. So, negotiating. The first things I want to talk about is for debt, right? So let's say you're in a lot of debt and it's all on your credit. Here's the weird thing. If you have a credit card or a bill that has gone to collections, right? Collections is actually, if you just pay it off, it's actually not going to help your credit, because what happens is the credit gets updated only when a change to your credit has happened. So if you pay off that debt that's in collections, right, it's not going to help your credit go up necessarily. In fact, it might make your credit go down because it's just going to be on your credit, but it's going to have a zero balance, right? So the only way that we're going to be able to start using our mind and start using our negotiating skills to get that off of our credit is if we get on the phone. I know we're in the future and nobody wants to be on the phone, but this is for your life. This is for you. So you're going to negotiate with all these people that are having collection companies. You're going to talk to someone who has a very hard job. They're going to be somebody who's in a call center. They don't get paid very much, and they only really are there to make money, right? Because what happens is if you don't pay your bills and then it goes to collections, the huge credit card companies are just selling your debt to somebody else, and then somebody else is paying pennies for your debt, and then they're blowing up people's phones. They're calling them, they're emailing, they're texting them, they're doing all kinds of shit just to get money. So they want to make money. They want to make their money back because they've already invested in your bill or whatever it is, your debt, and they want some money. But what you need to do is you need to call up these companies and you need to say, look, I would like to get this off my credit report, but if I can't get a deal or I can't get the right price or you guys can't help me out, I might just consider filing bankruptcy. And they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, we don't want this loss in money. We want some money. So then you're going to say, and the only way I'm going to do this is because I need to fix my credit. So I'm going to need you to remove this collection from my credit report and I'll be able to pay you a certain amount to have this happen. But if you can't make that happen, it's just going to hurt my credit more, and I might as well file bankruptcy. See, we're going to be going into all these certain circumstances with our own agenda where we're going to come out winning. We want to win more in life. We want to take control of our life, stop being a victim. A lot of people are victims to their debt. They're like, oh, it's so much. And I mean, I agree. There's big numbers. I've got some medical bills that I don't like looking at. I can't lie. I wish those would go away. But when you are taking control of your life and you're making more money and you are trying to spend less money so that you can be wealthily free, so that you can be financially free for the rest of your life, so that you can do more with your life, it's important that you do a little bit of research and the outcome of what you want to get from your conversations, from your negotiating, from your predicament, situation. So for anything that's going on, like collections and things like that, you have to call these companies and negotiate. And if is some error on your credit report, right, you can actually get them removed. Of course, don't lie, but you can legally take it to court. And if they can't prove that you did the things, you can get it removed from your credit report. So this is just one tactic for negotiating. We're starting in like the dirty dumps of the negotiating things that we can negotiate, but we're going to get to just thinking about everything and how we should be negotiating it more, how to get better deals, how to get better prices, how to spend less money, how to squeeze pennies while we make big money. We don't do this. We don't have $3 conversations. So if you're trying to negotiate over like $3, don't fucking do that. We're talking about getting out of debt, getting shit off your credit report, making more money. Okay. And putting the power back in your hands for your money, for your life. The next one that's down and dirty is if you ever get overdraft fees or if you have certain limitations with your bank, you need to be with a bank that isn't up to fucking shady shit. Don't go with Bank of America. Don't go with US Bank. Don't go with Wells Fargo. People go with these banks because they're convenient, right? But these banks have made it their living ripping people off and screwing people over. You don't want your financial area where you keep all your money to have that agenda. I mean, Wells Fargo literally, I think it was billions of dollars. They just made up fake accounts for all these people, all in the name of, capitalism and just fucking little people over, not caring about their customers. You want to be with a bank that is going to not have all these fees, not going to charge you overdraft fees, going to give you high interest if that's what you're really thinking about doing with your money, even though there's way better ways to make more money and to invest your money. So the bank that I would recommend is Charles Schwab. They're a really cool bank. It's all online though. You can't do anything with cash, but I make my cash and I keep my cash a secret anyway. So it's either direct deposit or you take a picture of your check and it goes into your bank account. So they're awesome. And there's other good ones, but there's a lot of people that you pay monthly fees to your bank, and then you pay fees for your ATM at your bank, and then you pay overdraft fees. These are all things that you need to know about because sure, it might be small bills, but they'll add up, and it's where you keep your money. You want to love the place that your money's at. You want to worship that place, be like, oh, my wallet is open for business. Now, my wallet is open, but they'll charge me $11 if you do too much. Screw that. So negotiate with your banks, though, on interest, on fees. Call them on the phone and say, hey, look, I've been a customer for this many years. I don't want to pay this anymore. Is there anything you can do? And if they don't do it, then switch banks. All right. And then the next one is going to be your credit card limits, right? Your credit is all based on having more credit, not using all of it, paying everything back on time. And what a lot of people can do is you can negotiate with your credit card companies, not only to get more credit because that'll help you earn credit, but you'll be able to also negotiate any other fees that you have with your credit cards. And the way that you can save, I don't want to say 20%. I'm making up a number. Say if you want to save 25% more money every single month, here's what you do. You pick one credit card or two credit cards that you really like, that have benefits or whatever it is you're trying to do, and you just throw away the other ones. You just cut them up. You cancel those cards. Because if you have that much spending power, you're more likely to spend it. So just get it out of your hands. And if you do have some cards that you do like, negotiate with them. Negotiate how much you can spend on those cards. Negotiate what kind of rewards you can get. You can start going to ball in hotels and traveling someday and all that good noise with all these credit cards and all these different things. But the important thing is that if there's anything that has to do with money, you are going to negotiate so that you get the best deal possible because you have time. And this is what the rich people do. This is what millionaires do. They don't pay the price because they're desperate. Right? You gotta lose that mentality. You gotta just trash that. They pay whatever they want because they have the power. And even if you don't have the power, if you don't have the money and you just need a deal, you still need to be able to take that pause, take that breath and say, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to pretend like I have the money and I'm going to negotiate down. And if they don't do what I want, right? Then there's going to be other deals. There's going to be other opportunities in the world. And most of the time, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to get a discount. You're going to probably get your price better than your price or closer to your price. I swear. See, everybody makes money in that little gray area in business. If you're going in for a car, they got the car from the lot or from the auction or from the manufacturer. They're selling it to you at a premium price. And in that gray area is their profit. But if they don't sell that car, right, then they're fucking stuck with the bill or something like that. But the point is, you need to negotiate for yourself because they're negotiating for themselves, their self-interest, right? And they have a lot of money. They're big companies. These are manufacturing companies. They got millions and billions of dollars. I don't know about if you're going to like your local car dealership, they don't, but those guys are also trying to be scandalous. They just stand around in a suit in a parking lot and hound people until they buy stuff. Why don't you hound them until they give you the price that you want? See what I'm saying? You got to have that pause, that clarity. And if you don't have that research, if you don't have that mentality, maybe it's a bad day to buy. Come back tomorrow. We're so focused on not waiting and getting that fast result that we are ruining the opportunity to get a good deal on things, especially cars, especially bank accounts, like especially all these things. And we're just jumping on the first opportunity that we get to get that new shiny object. We have to go into situations with an idea. It's okay to do research. It's okay to go to the dealership and say, okay, what's the best price you can give me on this? And then you negotiate them down. And then you say, okay, well, I'm gonna go home and look this up. And then I'm gonna come back. And then you go home and then you come back and you counter offer their offer because of something that you found. And you say, fuck them. I'm gonna play mind games with these people because I respect my life energy. I respect my money that I have worked so hard for, right? And I'm going to get the best deal out of this. And again, if it's a big purchasing thing, I highly recommend that you sleep on it because a lot of the dopamine that we get is from the anticipation of getting the product. And a lot of times we'll wake up the next day and be like, meh, I don't really want that actually. And these are all key things to be a more financially sound person. And it can kind of become a game. This is what rich people do all the time. They get good deals on shit because they name the price for stuff and they wait for the good opportunities. And if you can't wait for the good opportunities because, you know, everybody on Instagram or everybody else has all these things, then you're just making shit up and you don't deserve to get the good deals. There's going to be other people that are more deserving of spending their life energy to do things, to buy things. And then think about this. If you're buying these big purchasing things, your car, your house, you're going to be locked into those deals for a long time. You're going to be in those situations, into it for a while. So you need to make sure that you really like that deal because you're going to have to work to pay off these things all the time. Like, again, with your bank account fees. If you have a bank that is charging you fees when there's banks that don't charge you fees, you're going to be working a certain amount of period of time to pay that fucking bank, just to hold your money, just to invest your money to other people. You don't want to do that. And these are things that we don't think about. Another thing is when you go shopping, next time you go to a place, ask for a 10% discount. Next time you go and get coffee, ask them if you can get 10% off. Just for number one, to be brave, just to feel powerful for some reason, but also to see if it happens. I bet they'll give you a 10% discount. When they ask why, just say, oh, I'm a local and I just like your shop and I'm trying to save some money or something like that. You can just make some shit up or just see what happens. See what the clerk that gets paid $10 an hour, they're probably gonna be like, I don't care. Boom, you're gonna save 10%. When you go to these other big retailers, you know, ask for 10%, ask for their discounts. Don't sign up for any of their credit cards though. Kohl's and like Home Depot, all those credit cards will just gut you. They've got terrible, terrible stuff. So you save $50 and you sign up for their credit card though, and they charge you $1,000. It's ridiculous. So negotiating should become a key ingredient in your life. I think negotiation and being more persuasive, okay? Being a persuasive person is a key ingredient for any successful entrepreneur. To persuade people, especially if you're trying to sell stuff or if you're trying to do marketing, it's persuasion mixed with, what's the word I'm looking for? Not enticing, but inspiring. Okay, so you're trying to inspire people to see your perspective on things. This is so powerful. Everywhere you go, you should be trying to be more persuasive and more inspiring to having people join your side of things. This is going to make you incredibly powerful and incredibly influential. Try it with your Facebooks, try it with your social media stuff. Try and inspire people to like your pages, inspire people to buy or to look at purchasing. At least just get them to that next level. But negotiating is all about inspiring the other person to see things from your situation and feeling a good deal for you is in their best interest. It's kind of interesting. Other things that we can really need to negotiate is like our phone bills, right? Call up your phone company and ask them for a better price. Say you've been a customer for 4 years or whatever it is, and ask them for a better price, because every month, I guarantee you're working a percentage of your life energy to pay for these phone companies that are just paying, like they've already got the satellites, they got all the towers, everybody has a goddamn phone. They can afford to charge you a little less money. And if they don't do it, then threaten finding another phone bill and find another phone company, and so on and so forth. But having that little extra wheel turning in our mind, thinking about being someone who negotiates more deals, is incredibly powerful. Now let's flip it from saving money to making more money, okay? If you have a boss, if you have a job, I highly recommend just sitting down and asking yourself, how much is my time worth? And then to try and stop doing all the things that aren't worth your time, okay? I started doing this, and I started saying, my time is worth $500 an hour. So, and anything that isn't worth doing for $500 an hour isn't worth my time. If I have to go return something that's not worth $500, I'll just throw it away. If I can pay somebody else to do something and I don't have to do it, I'll pay somebody else to do it, because that's not worth my time. And this is how you really can start to leverage up on who you are. See, people think that they might get rich if they get paid a certain amount an hour. If they sell their time, though, to somebody else, they're never going to be able to get wealthy. If you can create wealth so that you can break free of the 9-to-5, if you can create situations where you are in charge of your own time and you have things that are making you money all the time while you're doing other stuff that you enjoy doing, you're going to be freer. You're going to be a lot happier. This is how you can actually create wealth for yourself. Now, how you're going to get there at this point in time, if you have a job, if you have something that you're obligated to do every day, which most of us do, is you're going to start negotiating for more money so that you can have more time to start creating more wealth, right? So let's say you have a job. The best way you're going to move up in a job is if you have more responsibility and you do a better job. And if your job is something that you're not interested in, if you're not interested in the work that you do at your job, I would start looking for another job that you would be interested in that pays more immediately. Yesterday, do it now. This is your life. This is what you're spending your time. And there are jobs everywhere where you could be getting paid for high profitable skills that you actually enjoy doing. Everyone is good at something, and everyone, I know for a fact, can be making money from the stuff that they love. Now, if you can't make a lot of money from the stuff that you love, or you want to keep the stuff you love away from money so that you can just do it in your spare time, then you still need to be able to negotiate for a higher paying job, and you need to be able to find that higher paying job. So many people just take the job that they fucking stumble upon instead of actively hunting for the good paying job. I guarantee you, if you were ready right now to make more money and you were actively looking for a job that pays more, you can find it. This goes out to people that don't have jobs too. I can't tell you how many times I've hung out with old friends of mine that are unemployed and they're like, I just can't find a fucking job. No, you haven't been looking for a job. I know exactly what you've been doing. You've been getting stoned on the couch, fucking on your phone and playing games. Like, if you wanted a job now, you would get one. And if you get desperate enough, you'll find one. But you don't want to get to that situation. You want to be actively putting things together for yourself so that you can be negotiating for your benefit. You want to be negotiating with business people, your boss, people that you're interviewing with, on how much they're going to pay you. And if you get paid that much, a good amount, you're going to do a great job. Whereas if you don't get paid that amount, you're probably not going to be very interested in doing it. Okay. If you already have a job and you think you deserve a raise, I would very much think that you should go and try and ask your boss for a raise. And if they say no, then ask them what you can do to get a raise in the future. They're probably going to be able to tell you, I need some help with this. I need more hours on this. They're going to tell you people need help with their businesses. People that are in charge of a lot of people are fucking freaking out because they have no idea how they're going to make sure everything gets done. And if they have somebody who's willing to help them, they're going to be willing to pay you more money. It's just how it goes. Any business, if they're in charge and they're not like, even if they are the most uptight, tight, organized, crazy asshole and they're in charge of everything, they're not going to look at you if you're asking for more responsibility, for more money, right? You can't just ask for more money without more obligation. You have to, you got to say what you're going to do. You got to have your little research, a little bit of an idea, but then you also can ask them for money while you're fishing for information on how to get more money from your boss, how to get more money for your negotiations. And if you have a price that you've been getting paid from somebody forever, then that person probably knows that you're going to be doing business with them for a long period of time. So asking for a little bit more money shouldn't hurt anything because they know you are someone who's been around for a while and is going to be around for a while. And the only way you're going to be around for a while is if you raise your prices. Everything in the world is going up in price. Everything is going to get more expensive. I don't care which president wins. Inflation is happening. So stocks, houses, things are going to get more expensive. And the negotiating is going to get more legit. If you ever go to a third world country and you try and buy anything, you're going to get bargained, you're going to get negotiated. And especially if you're a tourist and you look like a tourist, they're going to try and rip you off because they know you're passing by. They know you're not 100%. And we need a little bit more of that mentality. Again, don't have those $3 conversations. Have those $300 conversations. Nah, that's ain't worth it. $3,000 conversations. Regardless, negotiate. So let's just talk a little bit about getting a better deal on a car loan. So the way that you're going to negotiate to get a better car deal is first, you're going to do your research, right? Then second, you're going to go there with a price point already in mind. And then you're going to say, I found this online and I was wondering if you can compare to this price, right? And then they're going to go in their little back room. They're going to do some shenanigans. And the first thing you have to negotiate is the overall price, not the payments that you're going to make every month, because the payments can fluctuate between a whole bunch of stuff. So you are just negotiating on the bottom line, end of the day dollar amount. And if you're going to win that battle, you want to make sure that the guy that you're going to talk to is going to be super friendly, super cheers, but all he's there to do is sell you something. So all you need to be is super friendly, super cheerful, and understand that you're not going to buy something unless they give you your deal. You're the one with the power. Even if you don't have the money, even if you're trading in a car, they still need to move things in order for their business to survive and to swim. So you're going to tell them the price that you saw online. And I would even say $1,000 lower than whatever you found online. And you get them to go as close as they can. And then if they don't buy it, if they don't bite, then leave. Have that power. Have that ability to take a step back and to learn things and to see what you can do before you ever commit to doing something. Again, whenever you make these big buying decisions, car, homes, phones, I guess phones aren't that big, but whenever you buy these things, it's really computers. Whenever you have to see that, yes, you're going to get that product, but you're also going to be obligated to pay for that for the next such and such amount of time with your life energy for this thing that might not even be working at the end of it when you pay it off or when you do the payments. So you have to get the best deal up front. You have to have those smarts, and you have to hear that monkey brain going on in the back of your head like, ooh, 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 new shiny thing. And you have to tell it to shut up. We're doing the smart thing right now. And we're shopping around until we get the deal that we want. And then when you get the deal, it's going to be that much more rewarding. That's the thing that people that don't negotiate don't get, is you're probably going to end up getting it anyways because your mind is focused on getting this thing, but it's going to be even more rewarding if you can get it for the right price. So I think that has been a good idea for you to start thinking about negotiating everything. And I mean this. I mean, just try any of the big retailers. I don't know if Walmart will work because they're too freaking busy, but go into Home Depot, ask for a discount. Go into Subway, go into all these places and just ask for a discount and see what they do. And when you're negotiating a price with somebody, whoever says the first price first loses, okay? Because they're going to say a price, right? Unless you already have a price that's already awesome. That's why I say, bring in $1,000 less than the car price that you actually want to pay. But when they tell you a price and then you counter offer that price, they're going to agree because that means they know they got a sale pretty much, and you got a good price. But whoever says the price first is going to lose necessarily. So if you go to your boss and you say, I want to raise, and they say, okay, well, how much? And you say, I don't know. I need more money to pay for these things. You're going to have to wait for their response. And then you can replay that off. You can bounce that off of them. And you can see what they look like, what their vibe is like, and you can play that to your advantage. And then it becomes a game of maneuvering your words, becoming somebody who understands how people work, right? So if I say, why should I give you a raise? Or, okay, I'll give you a raise. How much do you want? You say, well, how much, if I start doing this, this, and this, how much more do you think you'd be able to pay me? And then you can just kind of deflect that until you say, okay, well, you're paying me this much. I really need to see a little more money by the end of the year. What do I need to get to make more money? It's just a thing that you can do that is actively persuasive and actively creating an idea in the other person's mind about your worth and about what's going to happen. And they don't necessarily care as long as more is happening and more is getting done, or they're selling a car or action is being taken, that they don't care just as much as you don't care. In fact, they've probably been trying to manifest something like this for so long that when you say your price, or you're going to lose, but if they say their price and then this is going to happen for them, they are freaking excited just because something's happening. It's just an interesting way to think about it. And the last thing actually I really want to talk about for negotiating is a concept that I picked up on when I was trying to close a lot of marketing deals. So I would do everything when I first started marketing just to get new customers, because I was just trying to be savage as fuck and I just wanted to make as much money as possible. And the best concept that I ever figured out was to go for no. It's actually a book. You can read it. I think it's called Go for No. And when you're doing like cold calls or other weird stuff like that, or cold emails or whatever it is, or Facebook, like anything, instead of going for like 3 yeses in a day, right? You get 3 yeses, and then you're going to essentially like quit after you get those 3 yeses, because life is going to be good at that point. Even if you get 1 sale, you're going to be so ecstatic. But if you set a goal of going for 3 no's, right? That means that you just call and you call and you call, and you're probably going to get more yeses, and you're going to keep calling though until you get 3 no's. Because what happens is if we get 1 yes, we could quit for the rest of the day. We could probably take it easy because we're like, oh, we got a sale. Here's some freaking money. We're going to have a little party. But when we go for no, right? Not only are we not going to get our feelings hurt when we get rejected, we're actually going to be like, okay, I got 1 no. Let's go to the next one. Let's give them a call. Let's do the very best that I can. See what they say. All right, I got another no. So I got 2 no's already today. And then the next one, yes. Next one after that, yes, 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 yes. And you get more yeses, as opposed to getting that initial reward and like feeling that burst of dopamine. It's not going to do the same for you as it's going to do if you go actively out and you try and get those no's, because you'll put in more hours, you'll put in more work, you'll get more out of it because you're trying to hit your goal of these no's instead of these yeses. That's just an interesting way to go for sales, go for deals, So let's say you want to buy a house and you're trying to find a creative person to do the financing or something like that. You want to pay zero down on getting a house instead of going for, well, I mean, all you need is one yes in that case. But instead of just going for one meeting, right? See if you can get 3 people to say no to a meeting, because then you'll be getting meetings all day long until you get those 3 no's. And then you'll be like, okay, I got 3 no's and like 9 meetings with people that might be interested in financing my thing, instead of just getting that one yes and then putting all your chips in that one basket. Because a lot of times things fall through. A lot of people don't follow up. You got to be hungry. You got to be aggressive. And you got to negotiate everything, because this is your money. This is your life. If you save $10,000 from negotiating, the people that are selling stuff don't give a shit, but your bank account will. You will. You'll have more time to do the things that you love, more time to spend with your family. These are all important things to take into consideration. Again, don't do $3 negotiations. Do like $3,000 negotiations, $30,000 negotiations, shit that's really going to make a difference and win. Little wins are going to amount to more. And then you're going to be able to start to get good deals, and you're going to start to see good opportunities because you didn't say yes to everything. You simply held out until you were getting the right price on things. The right deals were coming to you because you're a man or woman of integrity, and this is what you're going to do. So negotiate everything. Ask for discounts. Don't be a victim. Actively be going out there and fighting on your behalf, because nobody else is going to. This is your money. They print more every day, but the money that comes to you and you have control over is very important. Every dollar is a money tree. So negotiate as much as you can so that you win, and you'll get better at negotiating. It'll just become like a habit for you, where you talk to clients and you raise your price $500 or $1,000, and you negotiate it that way and you make it sound better. And then that's going to become the new standard. And then you negotiate on the car that you've always wanted, and you get it for like $10,000 cheaper than you thought. And that's just going to become the new standard of how you buy things and how you go about things. And you're going to see a whole new world of opportunity, and you're going to have more opportunity because you're not acting foolish with your money. All right. I think that is the end of my rant now. I just love this idea, this concept of negotiating everything, especially for you. You got to stand up for yourself and your money and set your prices and make more money. Set your prices higher. Negotiate better. Build it up. We're going to really be diving deep into wealth creation and a lot of other ways to make more money. And we'll start definitely diving into how to actually make more money by starting your own businesses, starting these wealth creation machines that'll start making you money outside of working for somebody. That's what we're all about. We're all about finding ways for you to start your own business, start your own side hustle that actually becomes a full-time income or a passive income. There's not so much thing as a passive income, but there is ways where you can create software, where you can create courses, where you can create books, designs, ads that are running all the time, 24 hours a day, where you can be taking a nap and making money. And that's where I want everybody to get to, so that you can be richer, so that you can be wealthy, so that you can be making more money, spending less money, living, what's it called? Below your means, making more money and then spending less money, and getting ahead in life so that you can have the best life possible. And that's what we're going to be getting into on the next few episodes. So please share, like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.